just made a grave mistake. I brushed my teeth before the cast and I just drank some apple juice before all the like toothpaste tastes out of your mouth. Ugh. This wasn't orange juice. That's the worst. Okay, sorry guys. Hello, welcome back. It's the EIZO Holiday Brawl, well, I'm Rifkin. Casting this morning with Zombie Girl bright and early for you. And spotting the bottom left corner of the map, it's gonna be the Axiom Terran player known as Heart.
It writes as the blue Terran. It's Gumiho.
Alright, so Gumiho went for something that is definitely a little bit risky. I think once upon a time, 2-Rax Reaper was almost a build counter win, just like a build order win a lot of the time. A lot of Terran players didn't really know how to best prepare against it. No one knew where it was safe to take reactors, but I mean, that time's kind of come and gone. And there are some situations in Starcraft 2 where we've seen folks bring out old school builds and they work because people forget how to play against them. Heart, in this instance, his build worked out for him anyways, regardless of whether he remembered how to play that or not. And I really like that one-base push instead of trying to play from behind.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. It was a little weird to see Gumiho push out when he did. I mean, it's not too hard of a, he had good scouting, obviously, he's in the base, right? So he knew that Banshees were coming. And it's not very hard to know that, believe that after the Banshees come out, they're going to go for the tank push, right? Because that's actually a very standard push. You get 2 Banshees, sometimes up to 3 or 4, which is what Hard did. And you go for a push with 2 tanks, see what damage you did. And to push out with the bio, I got to consider that he either really didn't expect it, which would have been surprising, or thought that the bio would actually have done better and did not account for Banshee damage, which we see all the time in TvZ, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, I have Hydras. Oh no, 4 Banshees are actually pretty good.
It's so, I just love that, we're at that point now where we've cast so much StarCraft 2, the lines do kind of get blurred. You do see a lot of similarities. And, I mean, I know that's kind of the case in general. Whoa, what a surprise. This could work versus 2 races? No way! But, yeah, it's just the Banshee dynamic in StarCraft 2 is so weird. Because it's got so many instances where it can be amazing, no matter what you're coming up against. Hell, it even works versus Protoss. We've seen that in the past, but at the same time, like a TVT, because it's so expected, sometimes it just gets straight up countered. We see some folks open with a Raven and a Viking, leave all the Marines at home, and not go for that aggressive push. I mean, I don't know what's in the cards here for Heart, but he did take a command center this time, and not going to go down that route of the faster Banshee.
Yeah. You can still get a Banshee, of course, but not nearly as fast. Gumiho's going to be going for the drop, it looks like. And, usually it is the drop of Marines and Hellions versus the Banshee opener, so it would be nice to see something different. The drop versus a command center opener. You're still going to have units, obviously. Heart is going to still go up to a starport. It's basically a necessity, which is, also, that last game was a little odd as the starport did come kind of late in that last game, but any other normal or build, that doesn't start off with a 2-Rax leads into that.
Well, I do find it interesting that neither player did do the wall off at the front. I think yesterday was a prime example. We got to see all the reasons you should do that move if you're worried about Hellions. But I mean, with Heart taking the command zone on the low ground, I mean, he's obviously not too worried about that himself. It's more for Gumiho's sake. I'm really surprised he didn't call Heart on going for the most common build TVT, which is what Gumiho himself is doing.
Well, the drop's almost set up. Heart's getting a Widow Mine. It's going to help out against, well, a variety of things, including maybe this drop, but more likely the Hellions trying to run into the natural, if that is their choice. There's so many different ways to actually do this, including just basically front pushes. If there's no bunker, oh, I can definitely take this on. I have a medevac and Hellions, and you don't.
Oh, he's pulling back to the bunker. All right. A little bit scary. I think he had a nice little spread at the top of that ramp, but as he falls back to the bunker, obviously a little bit more safe. We got the medevac coming in, and the Widow Mine burrows quite nicely. Reaper, on the other hand, not really doing a lot. Probably could have picked off an SCV or 2 instead of shooting that reactor, so about, I don't know, almost 100 wasted damage. Kind of sucks.
A little bit. Well, the Hellions, they can still run by the bunker, and it might still be a good idea, and Gumiho is trying to find some way to deal damage with this push. I mean, it is kind of committed, considering how fast Heart got that CC ahead of Gumiho.
That was a cool little bluff out of Heart, too. He pulled almost all the Marines out of that bunker just to go chase that medevac, because quite frankly, he needed to. If he had even 3 less Marines, he would not have been able to deal with this, but there's an SCV in here. Quay?
Well,
repair the
actually,
medevac.
That might be repairing.
Repair the medevac.
Legitimately. Repairing that and the Aliens.
Maybe, but Marine does die, and Heart takes not really any damage for this. I don't know if the stream's still working, guys. Well, give it a sec. I may have lost connection to just about everything, and I don't know if the stream's still working. So, what I'm going to do is, hello?
Hello.
Hey, so everything just died on me. I'm going to restart the stream real quick to be safe. I really hope this isn't that shit I was dealing with last week. Okay. So if you guys can still hear me, great. I'll be back in just a moment. Enjoy this mid-air win of mine. And if I'm not back in just a moment, wait a few minutes and I'll come back for sure. Alright, we should be back, hopefully and ideally. My apologies for that, guys. We had a little bit of a hiccup there in the internet, and hopefully that this will not continue. And for some reason I turned all my sound off. Interesting.
Also,
I have to message Rain apparently. I guess he doesn't know channel name or some nonsense, but so we get the attack for Gumiho. Sorry about that, guys. Again, a little bit of a disconnect, a bit unfortunate, but we did pause it, so you didn't miss any of the action. The SV is actually repairing the medevac. As funny as that is, we'll make it a couple of jokes here and there. This actually turned out to be quite effective. Keeping this alive a little bit longer is the edge he has over Hart.
That didn't seem like it was on purpose, but okay. Does go in to try and attack the bunker, but it was a little disjointed and not really working out. But Gumiho is still going to try and do it. Weird.
That was not cost effective.
Weird. You know, if he had the medevac and all the Hellions stacking that bunker at once, he might have surprise busted it, you know, before the repair could have gone. I guess that was his plan, but only the Marines were firing. Like, nothing else was helping. So that's weird. But it happened, and now it's over. So, alright then. Scan was on for Hart, actually. Oh no, that was Gumiho's scan getting rid of a Winamine that was dropped. Didn't even notice.
Winamine in the middle line, though, I mean, that's a kill.
Yeah, well, it's at a very, you know, whatever. But he also, I think he would have scouted the Banshees coming out with the medevac. Yeah, he did. It's actually hard to assume that his Banshees without Cloak also researching, so we might think it's just a Raven. But he has missile turrets down. Safe.
Just a quick apology for the observing, by the way, guys. I had to go message Rain. I thought his manager had told him the channel for today, but apparently not, so a bit awkward. Double tank drops going in a really sick spot. I've never seen anyone medevac these over. Normally they are, of course, just walked down with the army, but finds a nice little spot here to the right of the natural. This could deny mining. It could kill a couple of SCVs in that mineral line, and with a medevac here, what's interesting is if Hart does respond, Gumiho could unsiege these and possibly get away.
Yeah,
oh, but tanks on top of tanks.
Yeah, this is why I was just like, oh man, as long as Hart has a medevac, this probably isn't that big of a deal. Gets a gas geyser, gets like 3 STU, something like that. 12 in total for Gumiho, somewhere along the line. But...
Pick up the tanks, Hart! Oh, you left the other one to die! Alright, well, 9 SCVs dead. For Gumiho, not a terrible engagement, because once again, he does have a bit of an edge here, taking his third on location versus Hart having this in the main. So maybe perhaps going to be able to mine off that a little bit sooner.
Well, I mean, losing 2 tanks for that, okay, probably not worth it. But hopefully he can survive the counterattack and, I don't know, get this third up and running a lot faster. Obviously, it's already turned into an orbital, so it is already faster. He's going into mech behind this. I thought there was Hellbats dropping. I was a little surprised to see tanks. But, you know, he had 2 tanks, he lost them, now he's down to 1 tank, and where's the rest of his army?
Yeah, Gumiho perhaps maybe giving a little bit too much away in that attempt to deal some damage back there. I don't know. We'll see if that ends up really killing him here. You're right. He doesn't really have that much. Oh, where's the scan for Hart, though?
He doesn't have one. Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's on the orbital that's transferring over. Yeah, about 2 energy. So when it lands, you can deal with the Banshee, being a bit of a nuisance.
Well, that was pretty important. I mean, Gumiho, with only 1 tank and a handful of Marines, saved his third. Hart, though, obviously took his own third as well. Not too far behind. I mean, you know, again, the orbital on location versus having it sooner, but off location. But a Doom Drop is in going to the main. I mean, he did scan. He saw there's no turrets. This could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and the best part is this cuts off combination of the ramp and the production. So If Gumiho chooses not to engage, Heart chips away at the production. If Gumiho does engage, he's got to walk up that ramp right in the range of the siege tanks. But siege tank for siege tank to be the first one to trade this out. Looks like Gumiho tank will live with 1 health. Wow. Dies for the Marines to finish it off. Still a tank just shelling away from the backside of this. Of course, the Vikings going to make sure to zone out pretty much everything and anything. Gumiho tries to throw his way. Medivacs, Vikings, Banshees himself. Regardless, not going to matter. Heart's going to take this series 2-0 over Gumiho and go to the winner's bracket. Wow. So that worked out pretty well for our